Hi Gary, this is Elliot Ng with the China Business Show for Christine Liu. Thanks for sharing a couple insights with us about outsourcing and oDesk. Why don't you start by giving a quick introduction to yourself and oDesk?
Sure, thanks Elliot. Happy to be here. First, I'm GarySwart. I'm the CEO of oDesk. I've been here just over 3 years. Most of my career was spent at a combination of pure software, rational software acquired by IBM. And I ended up at oDesk, and what oDesk is we're a trusted marketplace for online work teams. Companies come to oDesk to hire, manage, and pay remote talent from around the world. So you can think of it as outsourcing or staff augmentation. People looking for resources come to oDesk to find those resources and manage them as if they're in their own office.
What do you think are the big changes that you've seen in terms of how people are staffing research and development and other functions? And is this part of a larger trend that oDesk is part of, or what's your thoughts about how things will change for staffing managers and for R&D managers in the future?
Yeah, Elliot. So what we've noticed is, if you think back to the mid-90s, people started outsourcing as a response to the Y2K problem. And it took small to medium businesses a while to catch on. And what we've noticed is that there's been a resurgence of people trying to get work done. So the economic conditions around the world are forcing companies to look for ways to get more done for less. Whether that means outsourcing or leveraging a distributed workforce, or perhaps leveraging contractors as opposed to W-2 employees. Coupled with the fact that on the other side of the coin you have workers that are looking to expand their skills and grow and develop their own careers, and to make money, of course. And the internet, as sort of the third spoke on this wheel, is really enabling companies to manage distributed work teams like never before. So the trend that we're seeing is one of what we would call staff augmentation. It's companies looking to get access to contract resources in order to get work done that they may not need long term. They don't want to hire a Drupal guy or a WordPress guy or an Ajax programmer if they're not going to be able to use them full time. So how can they get a flexible bench of talent and leverage it on demand when they need it, leveraging the internet to tap into a global talent pool and then manage those resources as if they were sitting right in the cube next to them.
Who's likely to be successful using oDesk, and what are some pitfalls of using oDesk or other staff augmentation options that people should be wary of when they start doing this?
Yeah, and I think that's a great point, Elliot. One that I would say is people who are likely to be successful are those that are good at managing local employees, right? So you have to be a good manager in general before you can tackle what I would call remote work management. So if you think about the additional complexities of having to deal with somebody remotely, you've got the communication and collaboration issues if somebody's not sitting next to you. So it's got to be somebody that's really good at managing local employees, and then, of course, having good processes and good tools to help facilitate that remote relationship. And that's where oDesk plays a role. We help bring a lot of that technology to bear to make managing a remote employee just as easy as if they were sitting in the cube next to you.
Great. President Obama recently talked about taxing companies more that were sending their operations overseas. So clearly there's some discussion in the press about the potential controversy around companies that are shipping jobs overseas. What's your perspective about outsourcing and whether or not that's good for American citizens, American workers?
Yeah, so what I would say is that oDesk is a global marketplace for online work teams. We're really, value is determined by the buyer, not us. What we've done is we've created the platform to enable companies to get access to talent regardless of where it exists in the world. And so one of the trends that we're noticing is the fastest growing segment of our marketplace is actually US-based providers. So onshore buyers are looking for onshore providers. They've tried offshore in some instances. It hasn't worked for them. They just need access to talent that they can't find in their local geography. So maybe you're in San Jose, you need a good Ajax programmer. They're just hard to find, competing with the likes of the Googles of the world and the like. And so you'd be happy to get a good Ajax programmer from Chicago or Florida or even New York, especially if you could save a few bucks in the process. And so we're seeing the trends that I mentioned earlier, companies trying to get more done for less, workers, knowledge workers looking to make money or even augment their their income with real work and real money, and to be able to come to a place where you can set your own wage and command the wage your work in the global economy is really important. So what we think is that it is in fact a global marketplace. Some buyers choose to send their jobs overseas. But what we're noticing is a really nice increase, more than a tripling year over year, of U.S. knowledge workers and hours delivered by U.S. knowledge workers in our marketplace.
What kind of success is oDesk seeing today?
So from a growth perspective, we have a couple of key metrics. One is hours through our platform. So remember, we help you to find the talent, and then we also help you to manage that talent, and we do that through our unique time tracking and billing software, which is really a collaborative platform enabling you and I to show up to work in a virtual office. And oDesk facilitates that virtual office for every company and every team assignment. And because we're tracking the work, we can validate that it's really happened through our platform. oDesk has enjoyed more than a 2.5x year over year for the last 2 years. And we're seeing just massive growth in all of the leading indicators, including buyers coming to oDesk looking for providers, providers coming to oDesk looking for work, and of course the hours and the dollars follow. And so we think we're doing something great for the world, really creating this marketplace and this ability to tap into this global talent pool and buyers from all over, and then managing all of the billing and payment so we can guarantee work to the buyer and we can guarantee payment to the provider.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Gary.
Thanks, Elliot. Very happy to be here today.
Take care.